Hi, and welcome to School Notes. I'm Xavier Williams. Hampton City Schools has been in full gear this summer with camps for students, teachers, and staff. It's all in preparation for the new school year. Stream Camp was held at Andrews Pre-K through 8, and students participated in many activities, including visits to the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame and the Hampton Air and Space Museum. They worked hard for SOL preparation in the classroom and even had some fun while learning. Let's see what they were up to this summer.
Awesome. Keep going. A little bit more. You got to get a lot of it in there.
Well, this particular program serves students who don't typically get a chance to participate in hands-on science activities. So this is an eye-opener for some of them. I know during the regular school year, a lot of the students complain that they don't like math or science, but to see them actually being engaged in those same concepts, but in a more relaxed and more hands-on environment, to see their eyes light up and gain those concepts that we want them to do during the school year is just an amazing experience.
Then a G.
We did math, science, social studies, art, and PE. In math, we learned two-digit division and two-digit multiplication.
Went on field trips, learning stuff, doing activities, experiments.
Here in the STREAM program, it's a really wonderful opportunity for the kids to get really hands-on science activities. We have a little bit of engineering thrown in there this summer. We've done things like building Mars rovers. The kids make their own rockets. They've made parachutes. We study gravity. We study rockets. We study Sir Isaac Newton and the first landings on the moon. And it's a really wonderful program for the kids.
I'm interested in learning about people and see what they have done, how they accomplished their dreams. We have learned about famous people who has gone to space or has been on the moon.
Bryan Elementary held a summer school program called SOAR. It's held during their morning program where 88 students participate in specialized learning based on SOLs in reading and math.
It's students on track for academic results. It's our summer school program that we use kind of like Hampton does summer school. We do it just for Bryan students. They kind of go through the summer school. We work on reading and math, but it's very data driven. We use a lot of their specific skills from their SOLs and we focus on that. We won't examine this data until the beginning of September, but even just last year's data, we saw such gains in those kids that it was like a no-brainer to do it again this year. I think it's a great summer thing for them. Some of our kids, they might not have these opportunities otherwise, and so being able to give that to them, seeing them excited, get to just kind of be kids when they go on the field trips or when they're problem solving or doing their morning activities that are exactly what they need is probably one of the best things to get to see.
Yes, we go on field trips every Thursday. We like go to the Space Museum, we go to the Sports Hall of Fame Museum, and next week after that we're going to a baseball game.
At the end of the camp, students presented projects they worked on relating to STREAM. They created moon boots, art projects relating to the solar system, and poems about space. And they presented their findings to guests. Some guests included school board members and our new superintendent, Dr. Jeffrey Smith. Speaking of Dr. Smith, he's now officially the superintendent of Hampton City Schools. The Honorable Wilford Taylor Jr. swore in Dr. Smith on July 15th. After his swearing in, he wrote a letter greeting parents, teachers, and students, which can be found on the HCS website front page. He outlines his plans for his Look, Listen, and Learn tour. Welcome to HCS, Dr. Smith. Hampton City Schools Information Technology Department has been very busy this summer preparing for the next deployment of iPads for the upcoming school year. This project also included the efforts of the HCS Information Literacy staff.
Well, the first thing we did this summer was we tried to design a delivery system for our professional development that would allow us to reach as many people as we could in a short period of time. And we used a model that we started a few years ago, which is it's called the Train the Trainer model. We worked with building leaders and they recruited some technology teacher leaders for us. We're going to train them on the professional development, and they're going to return to their schools and deliver that professional development to the staff in each building. The content of that training was a decision that we made based on the idea that we wanted to keep it simple. We felt like the more spread out we were, the less potent our message would be. So we decided to focus in on the Google suite of apps as the focus of our training. So we're going to be helping teachers, parents, and students learn a little bit more about how to use Google to help them communicate and collaborate with each other. And we're hopeful that that's going to kind of change the dynamic of the classroom and hopefully the relationships of all the stakeholders in the school. Keep an eye out for our emails for the HCS Google for Education class. We're going to offer it online so that not only is it going to be available in the schools for teachers and students, but we'd love for our parents at home to take the class online so that when their children come home from school and they're talking about how they're using Google in the classroom, that they can understand that vocabulary and then also maybe help them with some of those projects because they'll have an understanding as well.
Almost 8,000 iPads that we have been preparing, provisioning as they call it, wiping them clean, doing factory resets on the older units and bringing in new units as part of our expansion effort. So we're doing, again, all grades 5 through 8, and we're adding 2 high schools, going to add the other 2 high schools next year. Some good news for parents is that we're not going to require Apple IDs, so parents are not going to have to go through all the steps that they went through last year to get those created and then manage the passwords and so forth. Parents will probably be interested in knowing too that the devices are more secure. Because of the way that Apple is designing this for us, the devices are going to be more locked down. Now the students are not going to be so happy about this because they won't be able to go to the App Store and just download anything that they want. The downloads are going to be limited to those items in the App Store that have been deemed for academic use.
Lots of kids, including many HCS students, participated in a blues camp at the American Theater and Phoebus this summer with legendary blues musician Fernando Jones. Mr. Jones visited our schools before and came back to Hampton to teach students even more about playing the blues. Check out some of their sounds.
Believe it or not, the kids that study the blues, they have no idea that it's not popular because they love it. They have access to YouTube. They have access to their favorite bluesmen and blueswomen. So to them, it's popular music, just as it was popular music for me when I came up. Generally, when you are our age, you have like 1 or 2 things that stand out in your childhood, like whether you went to a basketball camp or a swim camp or something like that, or Disneyland. And I want this to be on that Disneyland track. I want the kids, when they get older, to tell their children, I went to blues camp, no strings were attached to it, we got a chance to be kids, we played the blues, they nurtured us, they loved us, they gave us critiques, and we grew up to continue to be wonderful people.
Next, let's take a look what's happening on our social media sources. On Facebook, the Burbank Elementary Bookmobile made its first trip through the neighborhood to exchange summer reading books. Parents and students also had the chance to meet their new administrators. On Twitter, students from Kecoughtan's Applied Arts and Architecture Academy were busy this summer building a prototype lifeguard chair at Buckrow Beach. Volunteers from the Aberdeen Historic and Civic Association and military partners cleaned up outside our schools. We really appreciate all that our volunteers do to make our schools look great. Also, at HCS Athletics is new on Twitter, so let's make sure we follow them to keep up with all of the fall sports happening around the district. On the next edition of School Notes, we'll give you a peek inside the new HCS employee pharmacy that opened this summer. Well, that's it for this School Notes. You can continue to stay connected with us by clicking like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite social media sources. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and we'll see you soon. And remember, it's every child, every day, whatever it takes. See you next time.